Lenovo launched the successor of K5 Note smartphone in the Indian market, dubbed as K6 Note under mid-range segment. In a matter of fact, this is the first smartphone under K series to be available through offline channels. The K6 Note comes with lots of features including Dolby Atmos, Theatre Max technology for VR and much more, starting at Rs 13,999. Initially, this smartphone has been showcased at IFA 2016 event along with Lenovo K6 and K6 Power. The Lenovo K6 Note comes in dark grey, gold and silver colors and is priced at Rs 13,999 for 3GB RAM variant, while the 4GB RAM variant cost at Rs 15,499. On the other hand, Xiaomi launched its most successful smartphone named as Redmi Note 3 in the Indian market, starting at Rs 9,999. In fact, when there are two of them in a similar range, one cannot help but compare to see which performs better. Talking about the physical overview, the Lenovo K6 Note is strikingly similar to its counterpart Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 except the camera bump on the back. The K6 Note comes with a metal unibody design similar to K6 Power smartphone, measuring 8.4 mm in thickness and weighs around 169 grams. On the other hand, Redmi Note 3 comes with a metal unibody design as well, measuring 8.65 mm in thickness and weighs around 164 grams. Both the smartphones sports an always active fingerprint sensor on the back just below the camera module. The placements are more or less same in both the smartphones except the front camera, speaker grill and a camera bump on the back. While the capacitive button on the Redmi Note 3 is backlit, it is not the same case in terms of K6 Note. We also did a fingerprint recognition comparison between the Redmi Note 3 and the Lenovo K6 Note. Surprisingly, the K6 Note is faster than the Note 3. Talking about the display, both the K6 Note and Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 shares a similar specification, sporting a 5.5-inch Full HD IPS display on front. There is a very slight difference in terms of pixel density, which should not be an issue. However, the viewing angles, sunlight readability are equally good in both the smartphones. But we observed that the display in K6 Note is a bit brighter than its counterpart Redmi Note 3. Moving on to the internals, the Lenovo K6 Note comes with an octa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 430 processor with Adreno 505 taking care of graphic department. On the other hand, the Redmi Note 3 is powered by an hexa-core Snapdragon 650 processor with Adreno 510 as a GPU under the hood. During our real-world usage, both the smartphone offers a lag-free experience without any stutter. However, the Qualcomm Snapdragon 430 chipset in K6 Note has a low-performing CPU compared to a Qualcomm Snapdragon 650 in Note 3. We tested both the mobiles with heavy gaming. The gameplay in both the smartphones are smooth without any frame drop as well. But the K6 Note started to heat up slightly during a game loading parts. Moreover, we also observed minor lag in K6 Note when changing applications. In terms of storage, Lenovo K6 Note offers a 32GB of inbuilt storage, out of which user will get around 24GB. If needed, you can also expand the storage up to 128GB via micro SD card slot. The Redmi Note 3 on the other hand comes in two variants, which is 2GB RAM with 16GB of inbuilt memory and 3GB of RAM with 32GB of inbuilt storage. It also can be expanded through micro SD card slot up to 256GB. On the other hand, the Redmi Note 3 has a 16MP rear camera with dual-tone LED flash and a 5MP front snapper on board. In the real-world usage, both the camera performs well under broad daylight conditions with good details and color reproductions. The image shot on Redmi Note 3 tends to be sharper than the image shot on K6 Note. Talking about the low light performance, surprisingly, Lenovo K6 Note captures better picture when it compared to its counterpart. The camera interface is simple on both the smartphones without any complexity and also has lots of shooting mode to shoot as well. On to the software, both the smartphones run on Android 6.0 Marshmallow with their own custom UI on top. While Redmi Note 3 comes with the MIUI 8, the Lenovo K6 Note runs on Pure UI. Comparatively, the MIUI is much more customizable and easier to use than Vibe UI. The Redmi Note 3 comes with lots of features including one-handed mode which shrinks the content on the display, a shortcut menu called Quick Ball and some pre-installed native apps that can clean junk, scan virus and much more. On the other hand, the Vibe UI do comes with features but not as generous as the MIUI 8. The K6 Note has a secure zone that allows the users to configure the apps, accounts, wallpapers and much more. This seems to be a lot familiar and similar to the second space feature found inside Xiaomi's MIUI 8. Additionally, the K6 Note scores more when it comes to the VR experience. Lenovo, as usual, promoted its Theater Max technology here, similar to most other Lenovo Vibe series phones, for an immersive VR experience when combined with VR headset. At the end, UI preference really comes down to a personal choice. While I think MIUI is the one, but when it comes to the VR experience, pure Vibe UI with Theater Max technology stands tall. The Lenovo Vibe K6 Note is juiced with 4000 mAh built-in battery. On the other side, the Redmi Note 3 has a 4050 mAh non-removable battery inside the hood. Both the smartphone supports connectivity options including 4G VO LTE, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.1, GPS, and much more. In this case, both the smartphone has its very own advantage. When it comes to Lenovo K6 Note, it has a premium build, user-friendly UI, battery life, and a support for VR experience. The Redmi Note 3 on the other side is known for its commendable performance, customizable UI, and battery life. So this is it for now. Hope you liked our video. Do hit the thumbs up button and stay tuned to Phone Arena.